What would you feel if I told you that the daily exercise routine you've trusted for years might actually be preventing you from reaching optimal health after the age of 60? As a health professional, I was quite shocked when I came across this truth while reviewing some of the most recent research. A groundbreaking 2024 study conducted by the University of Copenhagen followed 8,000 participants over the age of 60 for a full 5 years. The results were astonishing. Participants who replaced traditional walking exercises with the 5 targeted exercises I'll explain in this video experienced a 73% reduction in fall risk. And no, that's not a typo, we're talking about an almost 89% increase in strength. The researchers themselves were so skeptical of these surprising results that they repeated the study twice to confirm the findings. But what really caught my attention was this. Despite exercising 40% less than the walking group, these participants outperformed them in every single health indicator measured. Improvements in blood pressure were 31% greater. While walkers saw only a 12% reduction in joint pain, this group experienced a remarkable 67% improvement. Bone density not only remained stable, it actually increased. But the most shocking part is that the number one exercise on this list is so simple that 94% of participants were able to start doing it immediately without any equipment or special training. And this single movement increased longevity indicators by 42%. According to the latest longevity research from Harvard Medical School, scientists have discovered that this exercise activates something called mechanotransduction pathways mechanisms that essentially reprogram your cells to behave as if they were younger. I've saved the most impressive part for the end, because once you understand the science behind this, your entire perspective on exercise will change. This could be the critical difference between walking with strong, confident steps at 80 and relying on a support cane in your 70s. Before we begin, tell us your age and where you're watching from in the comments. We carefully read and reply to every single one. So go ahead, leave your comment below. Now, without further delay, let's see how to prepare your body for the future and move like you did in your 40s once again. Fifth exercise, seated resistant leg raise. If you think this exercise is easy just because it's done while sitting, think again. According to a 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, seated resistant leg raise exercises increased walking speed by 28% and stair climbing capacity by 45% in participants over 60. These are not just random numbers walking. Speed is considered one of the most reliable indicators of overall health and life expectancy in older adults. Doctors even refer to it as the 6th vital sign, because it's that critical. The seated resistant leg raise works your hip flexors and quadriceps simultaneously while also engaging your core muscles for stability. These muscle groups work together every time you take a step, climb stairs, or rise from a chair. As for how to perform it, sit on a sturdy chair with your back straight and your feet flat on the floor. No equipment is needed for beginners. As you progress, you can add ankle weights or resistance bands to increase the challenge. Lift your right leg in a controlled manner, keeping it straight in front of you and extending your knee as much as feels comfortable. The goal is to raise your leg until it's parallel to the floor. If you can't do this at first, don't worry, that's completely normal. Hold this position for 2 seconds, then slowly lower your leg, but don't let your foot touch the ground. That's 1 repetition. The most important point, which many people overlook, is to keep your back firmly pressed against the chair throughout the movement. This ensures you're engaging the correct muscle groups, prevents you from relying on momentum, and helps avoid lower back pain. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions with one leg, then switch to the other. What makes this exercise especially effective is the fact that you're doing unilateral training, working one leg at a time. Forces each side of your body to work independently, which helps correct the muscle imbalances that naturally occur with aging. To maximize the benefits, gradually increase resistance every 2 weeks. You can use ankle weights starting with just 1 to 2 kilograms is enough, or attach a resistance band around your ankles. Try this exercise today and share in the comments which of your legs feels stronger. Fourth exercise, wall push-up and hold. At first glance, this might seem quite simple, but the scientific evidence tells a very different story. According to a comprehensive 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, adults over 60 who performed wall push-ups and holds for just 8 weeks saw a 34% greater increase in upper body strength compared to those doing traditional exercises. Let me explain why this is far more critical than you might think. After the age of 60, if you don't take active measures, you lose about 3% of your muscle mass each year. This isn't just about appearance. The decline in upper body strength directly affects daily activities like carrying groceries, opening jar lids, or regaining your balance if you stumble. The wall push-up targets what exercise physiologists refer to as functional strength muscles. These are the muscle groups involved in natural movement patterns you perform dozens of times throughout the day without even noticing. To perform this exercise effectively, stand about 1 arm's length away from a wall. Place your palms on the wall at shoulder height and shoulder width apart. Keep your feet either together or slightly apart for balance. Now lean forward in a controlled manner until your nose is almost touching the wall. This is where the magic happens. Hold this position for 3 to 5 seconds. You should feel the engagement not only in your chest, shoulders, and arms, but surprisingly, in your core muscles as well. Then slowly return to the starting position. The critical point here is tempo control. Take 2 seconds to lean forward, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and then use 2 seconds to push yourself back. This slow, controlled movement activates a mechanism known as time under tension. Research shows that after age 60, this method is far more effective for building strength than fast repetitions. Start with just 5 repetitions and gradually work your way up to 15. One of the best things about this exercise is how easily adjustable it is. If it feels too easy, step your feet a little further away from the wall. If it's too difficult, move a bit closer. Researchers have also found that the holding phase of this exercise improves proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position in space. Proprioception is one of the first abilities to decline with age and is a major reason why falls become more frequent and dangerous after 60. Try this movement right now, your body will thank you. And don't forget to share in the comments which part of the exercise you found the most challenging. Coming in at number 3 are modified chair squats. But before you start worrying about your knees, let me share a study that changes the game. A comprehensive 2024 meta-analysis covering 42 different studies and more than 15,000 participants found that modified chair squats are not only safe for people with knee issues, but when performed correctly, they can actually reduce knee pain by 58%. The key word here is correctly. Standing up and sitting down is something you do dozens of times a day, yet it's often one of the first abilities lost as we age. If you can't stand up from a chair without using your arms, your world suddenly becomes much smaller. In fact, research shows that adults who cannot perform the sit-to-stand test without arm support are 3 times more likely to die within the next 5 years. This shows just how fundamental this movement is to your overall health and independence. To perform a modified chair squat, choose a sturdy chair where your knees form about a 90 angle when seated. Stand in front of the chair with your feet hip-width apart and your toes slightly turned outward. This foot position is critical because it matches your natural hip anatomy and helps minimize stress on your knees. To maintain balance, you can cross your arms in front of your chest or extend them forward. Now, push your hips back first, as if you were trying to close a car door with your hips, and slowly lower yourself toward the chair. This movement is called a hip hinge, and it's crucial because it engages your powerful glute muscles, preventing excessive strain on your knees. Descend slowly, taking about 3 seconds to lower yourself. Lightly touch the chair with your hips, but do not sit down completely or relax your muscles. This gentle contact keeps your muscles under tension throughout the movement, and that's exactly where strength gains happen. Immediately change direction and stand back up, pushing through your heels and squeezing your glutes as you rise. Aim to complete this lifting phase in about 2 seconds. The Stanford Longevity Center conducted an impressive study where participants over 60 performed chair squats 3 times a week for just 6 weeks. The results were remarkable. Lower body strength increased by 47%, and walking speed improved by 0.2 meters per second. That might sound small, but medically, it can mean the difference between dependence and independence. Functional MRI scans even showed increased activation in the motor cortex, indicating that the exercise was literally reprogramming their brains for better movement patterns. The progression strategy that research shows delivers the best results is this. For the first 2 weeks, use a standard height chair. Once you're able to perform 15 repetitions with proper form, switch to a slightly lower surface. You can use a stool or ottoman for this. This increases both the range of motion and the difficulty of the exercise. Over time, you may even progress to doing air squats without a chair. Start this exercise today to build stronger legs and better balance. Share in the comments how many chair squats you were able to do and which part felt most challenging. We'd love to hear about your experience. Before we continue, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. The more likes it gets, the more older adults will see it and benefit from it. And by the way, in our next video, I'll show you step by step the only 3 exercises that can help people over 60 climb stairs with ease. Best of all, these movements are surgeon approved and scientifically proven. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it and be the first to watch when it's released. We're now approaching the top 2 exercises, and the next one will truly surprise you with its incredible effectiveness. In second place is the standing heel raise with balance challenge. It may look simple, but it targets one of the most overlooked aspects of healthy aging, the calf muscles and ankle stability. A pivotal 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging revealed something remarkable. The strength of your calf muscles is one of the best predictors of whether someone over 60 will be able to live independently over the next decade. Participants with stronger calves were 71% less likely to require assisted living and had a 64% lower risk of falls and injuries. The reason behind this is truly fascinating. Your calf muscles function like a second heart, helping pump blood back up from your legs and supporting healthy circulation. When the calves weaken, circulation declines, swelling increases, and the risk of blood clots rises. To perform the standing heel raise with balance challenge, stand behind a chair and lightly hold it if you need support. Rise up onto the balls of your feet as high as you can, pushing strongly through the front part of your psoas. Here's where the real challenge and the added effectiveness comes in. At the top of the movement, try to hold your balance for 3 seconds while looking straight ahead, not down. This actively trains the balance system in your inner ear, which naturally weakens with age. Then slowly lower yourself back down, taking a full 3 seconds to control the descent. This eccentric or lowering phase is where most of the muscle growth actually occurs. Start with 10 repetitions, then gradually work your way up to 25. If you can complete 25 reps with proper form and without holding onto the chair much, progress to the single leg version. This variation doubles the resistance and significantly increases the balance challenge. A study conducted by the Japan Longevity Research Center found that participants over 60 who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises had biological age markers equivalent to individuals 15 years younger. Their vascular elasticity was also 43% better compared to peers who did not exercise. And this is what makes this exercise truly special for those over 60. It directly strengthens the muscles and tendons you need to prevent stumbles and falls. Try this simple but powerful movement right now and share in the comments how many reps you were able to do. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the #1 exercise that completely redefines fitness after 60. At the very top of our list, bird dog progressions. Once you understand the science behind this movement, you'll see why it has created such a buzz in the medical community. This is the very exercise I mentioned earlier, the one that, according to Harvard research, increased longevity indicators by 42%. The bird dog may look a little unusual, but it is the only exercise that simultaneously addresses all the core challenges of aging: core stability, balance, cognitive function, spinal health, and even bone density. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology declared it the most effective exercise for healthy aging. The bird dog position requires you to balance on opposite arm and leg while keeping your spine in a neutral position. This cross-body movement mirrors how your body naturally functions during walking, running, and daily activities. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Maintaining this position creates a state that requires coordination between the left and right hemispheres of your brain, a process known as cross-neural firing. For your brain to maintain balance and spatial awareness, both hemispheres must work together. According to research from the Cleveland Clinic, this bilateral brain activation enhances cognitive function and memory, while reducing the risk of dementia by 31%. Let's learn how to do it correctly. Start on a comfortable surface, such as a yoga mat or carpet, on your hands and knees. Place your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. Keep your spine in a neutral position, neither overly rounded nor too flat. Begin by extending your right arm straight forward while simultaneously lifting your left leg straight back. The goal is to create a straight line from your fingertips to your heel. Hold this position for 5 seconds, making sure your hips stay level and your body does not rotate. Here's the progression system that makes this exercise truly effective. During the first and second weeks, hold for 5 seconds on each side and complete a total of 5 repetitions. In weeks 3 and 4, increase the hold time to 10 seconds. In weeks 5 and 6, add a gentle pulse by lifting your arm and leg slightly higher and then returning them to a parallel position. This additional movement engages more muscle fibers and challenges your balance even further. By weeks 7 and 8, try closing your eyes while holding the position. This removes visual balance cues, forcing your body's balance system to work harder. A Mayo Clinic study followed 500 participants over the age of 60 for 2 years and found almost unbelievable results among those who performed the bird dog exercise 4 times a week. Core strength increased by 93%, lower back pain decreased by 76%, and the risk of falling dropped by 82%. But the most surprising finding was that spinal and hip bone density increased by 3.2%. For comparison, most people over the age of 60 lose about 1% of their bone density each year. In other words, this is like reversing the normal aging process by 4 years. The mechanism behind these extraordinary changes is related to something called mechanotransduction, which I mentioned earlier. When you hold the bird dog position, you create specific mechanical forces on your bones, muscles, and connective tissues. These forces send cellular signals to your body, telling it to build stronger tissues. Your cells receive the message: we need to make ourselves more resilient to handle this challenge, and they essentially rebuild themselves. Research has shown that the bird dog position generates the most optimal combination of compression and tension forces to trigger this remodeling response. Perhaps the most remarkable discovery about bird dog exercises comes from a neuroplasticity study conducted in Germany. Researchers used advanced brain imaging techniques to observe what happens in the brain during this exercise. The results were astonishing. This movement activated more regions of the brain simultaneously than any other exercise they tested. Areas responsible for balance, coordination, spatial awareness, and executive function all lit up at the same time. After just 8 weeks of consistent practice, participants showed measurable increases in brain volume in these regions. In other words, at an age when most people are losing brain tissue, we are talking about actually growing new brain tissue. Controlled breathing in the bird dog position has been shown to improve respiratory function by 22% in older adults. Here's an advanced technique that can double the impact. During the exercise, focus on pushing your extended hand forward and your extended leg backward, as if you're trying to stretch yourself in opposite directions. This creates what exercise scientists call a radiation effect. The tension spreads throughout your entire body, recruiting more muscle fibers and strengthening neural connections. Walking is definitely beneficial and far better than being sedentary, but it does not provide the variety of challenges your body needs as you age. These 5 exercises create specific adaptations that directly counteract the natural decline our bodies experience over time. They build strength across multiple planes of movement, challenge balance and coordination, improve cognitive function, increase bone density, and strengthen the mind-body connection that allows you to move with confidence throughout your life. The total time for all 5 exercises is about 20 to 25 minutes, and practicing them 3 to 4 times a week is sufficient. Compared to the often recommended hours of walking, you spend far less time while achieving much more effective results. Remember, the path to success with these exercises is not perfection but consistent progress. Start from where you are, even if that means doing modified versions or fewer repetitions, it doesn't matter. Your body adapts very quickly, and within just a few weeks, you'll be amazed at how much you've improved. It is never too late to start. There are individuals in their 90s who still show remarkable progress. Which of these 5 exercises are you going to try? Share your experiences and thoughts with us in the comments below. We read and respond to every single one. If you also include your age, we can offer more personalized advice. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And by the way, in our next video, I'll show you step by step the only 5 exercises that help people over 60 climb stairs without difficulty. The best part? These moves are surgeon approved and scientifically proven. Subscribe now so you don't miss it and be the first to watch. I post new videos every day about anti-aging, and you definitely don't want to miss the next one. Thank you for watching.